Are you a busy woman who prioritizes everyone else's health above your own? Do you have questions about your diet, exercise, or how to prevent or treat certain health conditions? Are you always Googling health questions that you forget to ask or are embarrassed to ask your primary care physician? Girl, do you even have a primary care physician? Well, welcome to Headed to Healthier. I'm Dr. Brittany Anderson, a board-certified family medicine physician, and every day in my private practice, I have discussions with women just like you who are doing their best to juggle the demands of life while also desiring to become healthier. Inside this podcast, you'll find practical and actionable health tips that you can incorporate into your daily life. You'll get expert advice and insight from some of my awesome healthcare colleagues, and you'll hear relatable conversations with incredible women just like you who have made their health a priority and are thriving because of it. So throw on your sneakers and get some steps in while you listen. Or if you're driving, get those hands at 10 and 2 and let's dig in. We are headed to healthier. Hey ladies, welcome back to today's episode. Today's episode is a little bit different. I'm going to share with you guys just a personal story of a decision that I made recently and actually carried out. I don't know about you all, but I have been wearing glasses since the first grade. Yes, I was that 6-year-old with the cute purple glasses on with pink rhinestone hearts, except as a 6-year-old, I did not think they were cute at all. I was mortified to be wearing glasses, and 30 years later, I was still wearing glasses. So I made a decision for my 39th birthday that I was going to get LASIK. Now, let me tell you, this is absolutely a decision that I went back and forth on so many times. I have so many student loans still that I have to go to work every day, and I need my vision. I need to be able to see. And so why in the world would I let anyone take a laser or needle or blade or anything like that close to my eye? And so for the last maybe 4 or 5 years, I've been thinking about it, but kept putting it off. But this year I said, Brittany, you have talked about this for so long. You have changed your mind so many times. This is the year. Either you're doing it or you're not. And I decided to do it. So I wanted to just go through the experience with you a little bit. Now, I'm going to say this is my own personal experience. If you have considered LASIK or want LASIK, I am begging you to not go only by my experience, but to consult your ophthalmologist. If you have an optometrist that you see regularly, see if they can refer you to an ophthalmologist, just to have discussions, one, to see if you're even a candidate for it, and to see how much benefit you may get from having the procedure. If it's something you've never thought about, then don't let me talk you into anything you don't want to do. But if you're thinking about it, then let me tell you about my experience. So, like I said, I've been wearing glasses since I was a little girl. One story that I remember, and I don't know how I remember this like 30 plus years later, is I was at my eye doctor for an appointment. I was maybe in 2nd or 3rd grade, and his office was next to the fire department, and he held my glasses up to his face and he said, "Oh, look, I can see what the firemen are having for breakfast this morning." And he was looking like towards the wall of the clinic, and clearly there was like a brick wall to the outside of his building and a brick wall on the other side of the fire department's building. And so basically he was saying that my vision was so bad and my glasses were so strong. And y'all, let me tell you, that stuck with me. The fact that I still remember that story all those years ago, I was so embarrassed when he said that. I already did not love my glasses, and here was this doctor that I really liked who was basically making fun of how I couldn't see at all. So that may be what continued my hate relationship with my glasses. As I got into like 8th grade, 9th grade, my parents let me get contacts. I was initially pretty good. I had the ones that you would put in. You could take them out at night before you go to bed. You weren't supposed to sleep in them. And every 2 weeks or so, you threw them out. I did good for the first couple months / maybe years, but then, especially as I got into college and was maybe getting home late, not thinking about taking contacts out, those things would stay in my eyes for days at a time. I cannot tell y'all how many eye infections I've had from just leaving my contacts in for too long. There were times that I'd left them in for 3 or 4 days and I would literally have to like peel them off my eye, which is embarrassing to say at this point because I'm a whole doctor, and the last time this happened, I was a whole doctor. And so it got to be so frequent and talking to my optometrist that I just figured, you know what? I'm just going to let the contacts go. I'm just going to wear my glasses. Yes, if I'm taking photos for something, I'll take them off and, not have my glasses on for the picture. But otherwise, I was going to formals and weddings, all kinds of things with my glasses still on, because I'm telling you, I could not see at all without my glasses. The Snellen chart, so that eye chart that we use in clinic, you stand 20 feet away from it. I know that top letter is an E, and that probably is the only reason that I ever got it right, because I already knew what it was. I could not see that letter for anything. So like I said, this year I decided it was time. I was going to do it. So then I started thinking, well, who is going to do this procedure for me? I want someone who is really good, someone who is super experienced, and someone who has really good reviews. So what did I do? I turned to some physician friends, because I knew that the person that they were going to was going to be someone that they had really vetted and looked into and knew that they could do a good job. So I'm in a Facebook group with just some incredible women, physicians and surgeons, and I asked in that group who the ladies there were going to. And several people gave me the same name of the same ophthalmologist. And so I made an appointment with him, went in for the first appointment, kind of talked through, he made me really answer the questions of why I wanted to have LASIK, to make sure that I was committed to having the procedure. He did a really thorough eye exam to make sure I was actually a candidate for it. And when he told me that I was like, okay, let's do this. Now, I told him that I'd been considering it for years, but it changed my mind. And he gave me free rein to change my mind. He said, you're a candidate. If you decide next week that you don't want to do this, that's completely fine. Thankfully, I did not decide next week that I wanted to do it. Actually, the opposite. I said, what is the next date that you have that you can do this? And it was like 3 weeks away. And I said, put me down. I'm ready to pay my deposit. I'm doing this, because I knew that if I didn't, then I would change my mind. And when I think about that more, and what I maybe want you all to take away from this is that it's okay. There is no physical reason that I could not wear glasses every day for the rest of my life. This is purely a cosmetic thing. When I was telling my parents, my grandmother, even my preacher about it, as I was asking them to pray for me before I went into the procedure, I told them all, this is not a medical need. It is not a necessity at all. This is just purely cosmetic. I've been wearing glasses for so long, and I just don't want to do it anymore. And so what I want you to take away from that is that there are some cosmetic things, cosmetic procedures, that it is perfectly okay to say, you know what, this is what I want to do for me. Now, there's a caveat to that. I want you to make sure these are safe procedures, because there are a lot of unsafe cosmetic procedures that are out there. But I really want you to learn to do things that you feel good about and things that may make you feel good about your body. So again, there was no medical reason that I needed to get LASIK. I was just tired of wearing glasses. There may be a procedure that you're interested in that you really don't have a medical need to do, but you just want to do it. It'll make you feel better about yourself. And that's how I felt about LASIK. So I went through with it. I had the initial consultation done, and then I went back to have the pre-op exam done. So the pre-op exam is where we went through everything again. They made sure that I had the eye drops and the medicines that I needed. And then soon after, I went back for the procedure. Now, they give you a couple medicines. So there were eye drops that I needed to start doing, antibiotic eye drops that I needed to start taking the day before the procedure. And they also gave me a medicine to help calm my nerves. And let me tell you, I needed that absolutely. The thought of someone getting close to my eye was nerve-wracking for me. And so that made all the difference. So if they offered them to you, 10 out of 10 recommend. You should probably take them unless there's some medical reason that you cannot. The day of the procedure, it actually went really smooth. Where I got it done was about 2 hours away from where I live. So I actually went up the night before, stayed in a hotel. My cousin came by, picked me up that morning. She took me over. The entire procedure could not have lasted more than 15 minutes. Like, I don't think she got comfortable in her chair before I was back out again and we were ready to go. The procedure itself, I can't even tell you what they were doing. And honestly, I know I'm a physician and I know I could look up the procedure. I am not that girl. I was not watching the videos. I didn't want to know. I walked in that day, said, if you give me directions, then I will do it. Now, the medicines that I told you, they really are just to calm you down a little bit. They're not knocking you out because you do need to be able to follow commands. So I don't remember a ton about the procedure because it went by really quickly, but I remember him saying things like, make sure you're looking at the blinking light and hold still, almost done, almost done. So things that you need to be awake for. So don't think they're going to knock you out for it because they are not. It wasn't really painful, the procedure at all. It was uncomfortable just having to keep my eye open and stay focused, but they had just a little contraption there that was holding my eye open for me. But it is kind of an awkward feeling when someone's telling you don't move, don't move, don't move, because of course then all you want to do is move. Your leg starts to itch, your hands tingle, all these things that make you want to move when you know you can. So again, the entire thing took 15 minutes. I went back into the room where my cousin was then waiting on me. They got a quick look at my eyes again, and I went back to the hotel room and went back to sleep. They offer a medicine to make sure that you can go to sleep. Y'all, I did not need that medicine at all. You put me in a dark room where I don't have to think about practicing medicine or doing notes or all the million things that I'm behind on, and I will go to sleep. And that is exactly what I did. I went back and slept for probably 6 or 7 hours, and then I went back for my post-op. So my post-op was, maybe 8 hours after I got the initial procedure done that morning. So same day, just later on that late afternoon, and my vision then was 20/30. And I say 20/30, and he honestly told me that probably was the best I was going to get because my vision was so bad to start with. But they did tell me it was almost 20/20. So I'm recording this literally the day after I got it done. And so my hope or my thought is that maybe I'll get to 20/20 because I'm only a day post-op even as I record this. Now, after the procedure, he told me all the things that you've heard about making sure that you're using the eye drops. So you finish out some antibiotic drops. He also told me to pick up just over the counter some preservative-free drops for dry eyes. But let me tell you the best part about this. It was waking up in that hotel room and I could see. I was reaching for glasses that I didn't need. I am 1 day post-op. I'm actually not going to post this until I'm 1 month post-op to make sure everything is still fine. I'm not going to post it if this all goes downhill in a month. But 1 day post-op, and I'm amazed by how well I can see. I'm still using my eye drops. I'm going to keep my follow-up appointments. I'm going to make sure that I wear sunglasses. I actually bought myself a new pair of sunglasses, which I'm really excited about and hope that I don't lose within a week because I spent a lot of money on them. But overall, it's been good. The surgeon was fantastic. If you're in Alabama and want his name, shoot me a message and I'll send it to you. But he was wonderful. He was very thorough in talking to me. I feel like he's like that with all of his patients. I don't think I got any special treatment because I'm a physician. He was just a genuinely nice person. His entire staff, oh my gosh, I didn't even mention the staff. The entire staff was so good. I took them back a box of Cookie Fix cookies, which are the absolute best cookies in Alabama. They're so good. And in general, I think this was just the best gift that I could have given myself. I've wanted it for a while, but I've put it off for other things. I've put it off because, I need to maybe spend money on something else. Maybe I can get ahead on my mortgage, any number of things. But for once, at the beginning of age 39, I put myself first and went ahead and did this thing that I want to do. So whether you're interested in LASIK or breast augmentation or whatever it is, as long as it's a safe procedure, as long as you follow the appropriate instructions, and as long as you're doing it with a qualified physician and surgeon who has good reviews and who you feel really good about, I say go for it. Do things that make you happy. Being healthy is not just about the numbers on the scale or the numbers in your labs, but it's also a state of mind. Your mental health and how you feel as a person is also so important. Again, I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm not your physician. I'm certainly not your ophthalmologist. But if it's something you're interested in, I'd encourage you to talk to your optometrist or your ophthalmologist about it just to see if you're a candidate. And if you do have the procedure, I really hope and pray that you had a good outcome just as I have. Thanks for listening today. Hey, thanks for listening in today. I hope something you heard in this episode will help you on your journey to becoming healthier. Remember, this podcast offers general health information. I am not your personal physician. If you need advice that is specific to you, be sure to consult your physician. If you enjoy this podcast, please consider sharing it with a friend and reviewing it on Apple Podcasts. Also, be sure to subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode. Tune in next week for another great episode of Headed to Healthier. Until then, take care of yourself. Talk soon. Bye.